Okay, we are back in Spirit Hunter NG for one more time. So, to explain a couple things, we're in the CG gallery, as you can probably tell. So, like one of the things while I was playing through this game so many times to get everything for YouTube, I noticed there's fewer and fewer CGs as you go further and further into the game. Like, up to here are all in the prologue, Rashomon starts here and ends here, Kubitaro starts here and ends here. Actually, you can argue here. Then we get to the Screaming Author, who starts here and ends here. And then we do the whole Killer Peach intermission thing before starting Killer Peach, who ends right here. So that's going to be my one major grievance about the game. I'm assuming they probably hit deadlines again. If you didn't see the Deathmark video that I did where I actually read the art book aloud, I talked about how the detective was supposed to be a serial killer. Tsukasa, I think the boy's name was, the nerdy kid in the first chapter, he was with Moe, I can't remember his name, I thought it was Tsukasa or something like that. He was actually supposed to be a bully, the intellectual type of bully who manipulates people. And just looking at the CGs here, I suspect they probably hit deadlines. But otherwise, this is the CG you get if you save Amanome, if you didn't see that little skit I put up. I want to say this is going to go up Saturday, and this video you're watching will be on Monday, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you choose Amanome over Hazuki in the Lightning Strike, or just kill Hazuki and Amanome lives, you get this. There's no equivalent for Hazuki. It just goes right into story mode with the whole... Wow. So yeah, you can even argue Demon Kagasuchi is just right here, these two. And then if you get the bad ending, then you get to see the Deathmark MC, just in case you haven't seen that part. Still wondering if this is the canon ending. And her bar looks much, much smaller here than it does when you're actually inside. But the real reason why we're here is for, you guessed it, these. So to explain real quick, in order to get all of these, you have to be on really good terms with all the characters. They have to survive, so you gotta do the smiling reaction pretty much all the time. For Maruhashi, his comes from Amanome, so just being friendly with Amanome gets you that one. And there's a bit of a misleading aspect. After you beat Kagasuchi, and everyone goes their separate way, or not Kagasuchi, Tsukuyomi. I've probably been calling it Kagasuchi, haven't I? As soon as you beat Tsukuyomi, the characters will go their own separate ways, then you stare off in the stars, and then it says you get art for being on someone's good side. You actually still have to beat the game to make it up here. Like, I got that CG, or that notification, I saved, then I came here and looked and saw, nope, Amanome is still not here. I was missing the Maruhashi, I was missing theirs. And yeah, go save. But otherwise, before we get to those, if you want to look at the concept art real quick, this is one of the alternatives for Amanome, this is the alternative for the MC. We have Hazuki. I don't know why the MC is next to her. I assume that's probably just for height purposes. And then her Kurose form, Bon's other forms, Rose, Ami. So yeah, since she's next... Well, actually, yeah, there's quite a few where they're saying next to the MC. I'm assuming that's just so you can see their height relative to one another. Then we hit the Natsumi, the Maruhashi, the Ue, and so on. You get to see the rough outline of the Momo Kurose thing. And yeah, nice little collection for going through all the headache. For Miroku's room here, you get to see everyone, well, you get to see the dolls in the same place, because normally they're only there one at a time. For the stroller, you get to see the angle of that was changed. The other doll, the elevators with the invisible stuff, and then the elevator, the other elevator. But anyway, what we came here for, we're going to go through the character profiles, and hopefully we'll learn a thing or two. I'm assuming these were put here to make up for Deathmark, how they had stuff in the art book that wasn't available in-game. So if you got a digital copy of the game, you're kind of SOL, you're kind of stuck watching my video to find out what happened unless you can find a copy of it somewhere. So our MC is named Akira Kijima. Akira Kijima. A third year at Shinza High School, normally quiet and indifferent. Hey, so the whole middle road thing kind of was accurate. He can be considered of his friends and family, an infamous delinquent known for his fighting skill. His name is well known by others like him. He remains undefeated in the underground match, a series of fight battles his friend introduced him to, due to his excellent physical abilities and fighting instinct. He grew up a single parent child, but after his mother passed 2 years ago, he's been in the custody of his aunt Natsumi. He chooses not to live under the same roof, instead making his own living by working part-time and living alone. He successfully keeps his fight matches for money a secret from his aunt. So you can see he's 18 years old, born April 4th, height, weight, hobbies, martial arts, likes tough opponents and chicken, dislikes sweet crap. Legend, 5-time first place winner of martial arts championship. So he's a level 72 fighter, subclass, level 5 student. These are his actual stats in terms of like death mark, because they had that if you don't remember. 16 strength, 5 intelligence, 6 dexterity, and 13 spiritualism. Skill right straight combo. His personal best is 8 punches per second. Yeah, right. Equipment, bloodstained leather gloves. So many opponents have blood on them that they smell a bit. It's a good thing his blood material doesn't go off on that. Then we reach Seiji Yamanome. The third year at Shinza High School. Has been best friends with Ross since childhood. Who the hell is Ross? Okay, I'm guessing Ross is like maybe a placeholder name for the MC, but that's really, really weird. A clean, well-mannered young man with a dangerous side. He's the son of the current Yakuza boss of the Yamanome family. He has no qualms about resorting to evil or illegal means to get what he wants. His specialty is collecting intel and using it for blackmail. Nicknamed the Prince of Threats by society's underbelly, he's known for his extensive network, which allows him to get dirt on others. So real quick, in case you're wondering about his title there, it may sound a little weird. I think the whole Prince title is supposed to mean that people perceive him as handsome or something along those lines. That's probably the only thing that really makes sense. It is greatly envied by private investigators. It takes him only a phone call to not only control members of the family, but anyone else he has blackmail on. His only hang-up since childhood is his fear of ghost stories, spirits, the occult, and all things related. So you can see 18 years old, born June 9th, height, weight, hobbies threatening while merrymaking. Likes fruit, older women, dislikes ghosts, occult. Legend, merging gang, the color gangs. So I assume that's supposed to be a Durara reference. You can see he's a level 40 high school student, a level 51 Yakuza for subclass. Strength 7, intelligence 14, dexterity 13, spiritualism 5. Skill, supplemental shooting plus 50%. We kind of saw that with Kubitaro, didn't we? Sees through others to accurate their weakest points? What? I think it's supposed to be to identify or something like that. Okay, sees through others to accurately hit their weakest points, maybe? Yeah, the translation here just went downhill sharply. Equipment, crest of the Amanome family. Using this puts fear into non-members. Then we jump over to Kaoru Hazuki, second year at the private girls' school, Seishin High, friends with Ami, Akira's sister. She loves researching ghosts and the occult. In spite of the more reserved air around her, she's quite strange. She's bold and fears nothing. She strongly favors gothic Lolita clothing. Wanda Rabbit's Husky version. So I believe these are the actual lyrics to the song, maybe? Yeah, Didn't know they actually gave that to you. Bio, she's 16 years old, born on Halloween. Height, weight, hobbies, researching ghosts, idle activities, likes gossip on supernatural phenomenon, and Ami. Dislikes dancing and sports in general. That's interesting. Legend, high kick on Master M's tombstone. Do not know if that's a reference to something. Level 19, high school student, level 42, idle. Physique is at 10, wow. Intelligence 8, dexterity 9, spiritualism 12. Skill, quick change into Momo Kurose. In Momo form, attack power versus men increases. Equipment, got the Lolita black outfit. Then we hop over to Momo Kurose. An idol who's gained popularity on TV recently. A solo artist, her age is not publicly known. Utilizing the end of the century, that's the misspelling of century, she debuted as an occult idol and is the main actor on a comedy show called Scary Stories of the Classroom. Her popularity quickly rose among the younger audience, and she stars in a number of children's shows, soap operas, and movies. She will occasionally work as a bikini model as well. In a movie called After School Scary Rumor, she debuted as a singer, and the theme song Wander Rabbits became an unprecedented smash hit. Her selling points are said to be her mysterious occult beauty created by her doll-like appearance and manner of speech. She often works closely with the idol group Love and Hero, who she previously considered her competition. That's a reference to Deathmark. Naomasa Ban. A shrewd, shady journalist with an infamous reputation in the media industry. Being freelance, he knows a lot about journalism and editing, making him appear to be a reliable, experienced adult. His true nature is that of a middle-aged hoodlum who likes to rip off organizations and the Yakuza using tips and stories he obtains through coercive interviews. He has an intense love of gambling and frequents pachinko halls and racetracks in hopes of turning his life around for once. A tough guy who often uses silly bluffs and is tight-lipped about his past. But there's a hint of the darkness that lies there. He knows spirits exist and offers considerable assistance in pursuing the truth of each case. 40 years old, birthday February 26th, height, weight, hobbies, gambling, conduct interviews, expose scandals, likes drinking after winning, dislikes working hard. Legend, pay back a debt of $3 million in 7 minutes. Yeah, I can believe that one. Class, level 55 journalist, but only a level 3 gambler. Strength 12, so that makes little sense. We're stronger than him. Intelligence 11, dexterity 10, spiritualism 6. Skills do or die game. If he succeeds, he wins it all, but Bond's win rate is only 1%. Equipment, cracked cell phone. Back then, a cell phone was probably so high-end that it doesn't matter if it was cracked. So we hit Rose Mulan, a magician. Her real name, age, and career are unknown. She is interested in spear cases and those involved, and often quietly shows up at the Black Rabbit unexpectedly. She talks like a dandy gentleman and carries a mysterious air around her. It's later revealed that she's a famous magician known for escaping sinking ships or a falling airplane alive. A certain someone requested her and Bond to do research on spear cases. She's highly knowledgeable on spirits and the occult in general. A sucker for gems associated with spear cases, she goes to great lengths to find them. She thinks highly of Kijima's abilities and talents. She frequently stares sharply at him like a panther watching its prey. I think they meant to say cougar there, but I digress. Age 20s, or so she says. Lies. Born on Christmas. Height, weight, hobbies, seek mysteries, search for gems. Likes gems and expensive alcohol, dislikes bright places. Legend, gain out a rocket shot to the moon. Level 60 magician, level 31 thief. Strength 6, intelligence 8, dexterity 14, and spiritualism 11. Skills lockpicking. Skill level not high enough for complex locks, which means she's worthless. Equipment, black rose perfume. In her proximity, one may become enchanted. Ami Kijima. A 5th-year student at Shinza Elementary. She's the daughter of Natsumi, making her Akira's cousin, though she calls him big brother. Mature for her age, she helps her mom whenever she can. She's a big fan of Momo Kurose, the idol, and can always be seen wearing the headphones Yuri gave her so she can listen to Momo's songs at any time. 10 years old, born November 22nd. Height, weight, hobbies, cheering for Momo Kurose, likes her brother's cooking, dislikes scary things. Legend has talked to a dog with a human face. Forgot what that actually is a reference to. There's an actual ghost story in Japan involving a dog with a human face, but I can't remember the specifics of it right now. She is a level 23 elementary school student, but a level 75 sister. 5 strength, 9 intelligence, 6 dexterity, and 13 spiritualism. Skills replicate Momo's dance. She might be better than Momo Kurose herself. Equipment, pink headphones. Ami cherishes her gift from Yuri Takamura. Natsumi Kijima, Ami's mother and Akira's aunt. She is the owner of the Black Rabbit Barn near Kusoji Station and is also a horror novelist. She doesn't write often, but her works are quite popular. She's rather lazy about running the barn and is rarely frequented by customers. Known for her gentle demeanor, she always looks out for her nephew. Age, 33 years old. So that means she was 15 when the MC was born. Birth date, July 14th. Height, weight, hobbies, reading and writing novels. Likes Ami's smile, dislikes managing the bar. Legend won Yasuoka Literary Award 3 years in a row. I do not know if that's a real thing or if something made up. Level 40 writer, level 6 owner. Strength 6, intelligence 13, dexterity 7, spiritualism 8. Skills, resistance against sleepiness plus 40%. During deadline, she can go 3 days without sleep. Equipment, highest quality wedding band. Memento left by her late husband. but notice she's not actually wearing it on her hand. We can see her left hand right there. Mitsuru Maruhashi, a young member of the Amanome family. On their Shinza turf, he blusters with the unexpected big attitude. He tries hard but makes a lot of mistakes, but his clown-like quality makes it hard to dislike him. Like Ami, he's a huge fan of Momo Kurose. Whenever he's drunk, he tells tales from his days as leader of a motorcycle gang, which all sound made up. He is 22 years old, born September 29th. Height, weight, hobbies, getting by, cheering for Momo Kurose. Likes curry and hamburger steak. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's kinda lame. Dislikes going on a diet. Legend, first leader of the Red Crest Gang. Class, level 13 thug, level 42 motorcycle gang. I assume that's supposed to be like a leader at the end of it or something. Strength 10, intelligence 5, dexterity 6, spiritualism 9. Skills, Red Crest. One call summons hundreds of gang members. Equipment, slightly dirty jersey sweats. Slightly dirty jersey sweats? What? Is that supposed to be like slightly dirty jersey and sweats? Because we don't really see him. You don't see his below his waist until he's already lost his head. He lives at the office as he's short on money. Reina Ue. Not the straightest cop. She entered the department as a young elite, but her strong sense of justice and blunt honesty caused problems and isolated her from the other officers. In Kisoji, she took it upon herself to get personally involved in her department's cases without being assigned them. She's unexpectedly friendly and winsome, but she never loses the serious look in her eyes. Age, 27 years old, birth date May 5th, height, weight, hobbies, execute justice. Likes criminals, dislikes rules, accepted practice. Legend, graduated top student at the police academy. Class, level 31 police officer, but no subclass. Strength 13, 8 intelligence, 7 dexterity, 9 spiritualism. Skill, pressuring using Kansai dialect. She hasn't gone home in many years. So I kind of suspected this from the way she was talking, but the Kansai dialect, if you're not familiar with Japanese, is like a country drawl. That'd be the equivalent in the US. And it's usually associated with being like on the creepy side of things, so she's supposed to be that intimidating. I don't know if you watch, let's see. I think it was Ghost Hunter. That's the one with the priest that speaks in the Kansai dialect if you're watching it in Japanese. I don't even know if that was dubbed, to be honest. I think in Bleach, Ichimaru Gin, the third squad captain, speaks the Kansai dialect. There's probably a few more characters I can think of, but just in case you're wondering what it sounds like, you can check out those characters. Equipment, Warren Police Identification Notebook, effective against criminals as well as civilians. So here we have Yakumo Miroku, who doesn't have an image like this, even though you see him in CG, so you know what he looks like. It's just he doesn't have the profile thing. A horror novel author who based his stories off Japanese fairy tales. The way he shaped the world in each, plus the intricately detailed depictions of cruelty, defined him the most, and drew a legion of passionate fans. He's most well known for his horror fairy tale collection, Dark Fairy Tales. They're missing a punctuation mark. He is the head of the distinguished Miroku family with close ties to Noboru Ishimaru and the previous president of the Sumi Group. Those who inherited the Miroku blood over the generations possess spiritual powers in their hands. The left had the power to bestow, and with it they infused a spiritual item doll with power to maintain the seal on the Kaguya doll. The right hand's power varied person to person, and Miroku had the ability to read people's thoughts. After an accident 30 years ago, he lost the powers in his hands and was therefore unable to perform the seal with spiritual items. Initially, he tried to father a child who would inherit his blood. However, due to his spermatogenic disorder, it was near impossible. He wanted to fulfill his duty as one with the Miroku blood, so he found an unorthodox ritual for the sealing, turning young girls into living dolls with spiritual powers. And if you don't know what his disorder is, he either can't form sperm or he can't form viable sperm, one of the two. So he is supposed to be sterile as a mule. 10 years later, a woman becomes his housekeeper and they become very close. When she uncovered traces of the rituals he'd done, she fled in fear, but not before miraculously becoming pregnant with the child he wished for. Sadly, he never learned of it, and continued to fulfill his duty by performing the ritual with the living girls. Half a year ago, he kidnapped and altered a girl named Tsukasa Oi, who wanted to become a dancer and offered her to Kaguya. However, unlike the previous girls, Tsubasa was an adult who'd reached puberty. After coming in contact with her, Kaguya started to take interest in adults and asking for him to be her playmate. When he refused, Kaguya killed him with Kaguya's game. So, huh. Okay, there's most likely something here that's a little bit lost in translation because of the adult thing that may not necessarily mean puberty, but may mean that Tsubasa was not a virgin. The way they usually refer to virginity is, in her case, they'd be referring to her as shoujo, which is the same as little girl. It's kind of weird how they do it in Japanese, but I'm suspecting that's probably more along the lines of it, since she wasn't a virgin or something. That's what caused Kaguya to change. Then again, that may also be why she became a ghost, just because she wasn't like the other one. She couldn't fulfill the duty entirely and was probably rejected. Anyway, we have Satomi Kijima, deceased mother of Akira Kijima and older sister of Natsumi. Her weak constitution in her youth saw her reading and studying instead of physical activity. Her mother passed when she was in elementary school, her father after she graduated college. Natsumi was taken in by relatives, but she was determined to live on her own and began working as a housekeeper on the Shinzo ward. One of the residences where she worked belonged to the Miroku family. Since she was an avid reader, she was a fan of Miroku's works and overjoyed at the coincidence. She worked diligently. After about a year, much longer than her arranged contract, she came across bloodstains in the attic. She asked Miroku about them, but he refused to answer her. Beginning to fear this eerie sight of him, she never returned to the mansion again. Choosing to distance herself from the residence and its owner, she settled down near the Shinzo ward. Not much later, she learned she was pregnant with Miroku's child. Hesitant at first, she chose to keep the child, but never mentions who the father was. She raised her son alone without contacting Natsumi for 10 years, but due to her weak body, soon began to reach her limit. Realizing she didn't have much longer to live, she finally contacted Natsumi after considering the future of her son. She left him with her sister without telling any details about his father. Akira Kijima and his aunt took care of her while she was hospitalized until she passed away 2 years ago. Cause of death was determined to be fatigue of the heart. Yuri Takamura. Deceased. A friendly high schooler who lived next door to Natsumi. She had been aiming to become an idol, and that was how she became friends with Hazuki. Ever since she was little, she had strong spiritual powers and experienced many phenomena. The reason why Kaguya sent a black postcard was likely due to the spiritual qualities she had. Taizo Amanome. A fierce-faced Yakuza boss of the Amanome family and the father of Seiji. He's an old-fashioned Yakuza and respected by those who work under him. Against those who oppose him, however, he doesn't hold back. To this day, people still talk about when he shot a rocket launcher during a raid when he was young. He loves his son dearly and finds great joy in baking pies for his one and only son, Seiji. Hiro Aratama. Famed desk editor of Monthly Oparts. He was one of the pioneers of the popular cult trend around today in the Legends Japanese or space aliens theory. Dog-faced, human, and purple toilet can't be talked about without him being mentioned in some way. His current whereabouts are unknown, however, before disappearing he left a prophecy saying, "On August 1999, I will appear next to the boy in black." So that's D-Man, if you didn't gather. So here's the concept art. I'm definitely glad they changed some of her design there, because she looks too plain there. Kind of like the top middle one. Here we can see her hair varies at a couple different points. Her first one there looks radically different from the end product. And she looks really young in the second one. Ami, she didn't really change much. There's Natsumi. They changed her hairstyle some, but for the most part the same. He has quite a few different looks. They probably went with the better one, though. Here we have Ue. The bottom right one does not do her justice. Momo. So right here they're trying to figure out where they wanted the emblems on her, it looks like. There are the dolls. You actually get to see them in proper lighting. The other one... yeah, that has all the features in there at once. And that's everything, folks. With this, Deathmark is 100% done. We have all the endings, we got the art out of the way, we got to read the captions, and... oh, I called this Deathmark, didn't I? NG. Nagashinogi. So with this out of the way, we just have to wait and see how the next game comes along. I read that they were going to try to crowdfund it. I don't know any more than that, what platform they're going to use, if it's already been done, if it's going to be done. Just be aware it's not done yet, so do not get your hopes up to see anything for Halloween 2020. This was just done because Deathmark was a pretty big hit. And since this one had, like, Deathmark had been out for a little while, they were able to just do a rush job on this one and get it out. You can see there are still a few rough spots, like the random name of Ross, but overall I'm pretty satisfied with it. Just wish there were more unique CGs as you got further into the game, because you get so many at the beginning and then they just completely taper off. Luckily Tsukuyomi was such a brief segment. Killer Peach, I had to find a way to make do. But yeah, otherwise that is it, folks. We are done with NG after this. I don't know if there's going to be any other videos going up with this one, but otherwise, thanks for coming along with this. I'm glad a lot of you enjoyed it. Some of you actually found my... I don't know if you even want to call it wit enjoyable, but... glad you enjoyed, and... well, if you saw the video yesterday or Sunday, you know what's in store. I am the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.